Welcome back to Food Good, where this time we're here again with me. I'm Andrew from Food Good Channel with Emiliano Maturo, a master pizzaiolo. Today, or in this video, we're going to be showing you how to make the pizza sauce. So, without further ado, Emiliano.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. We go here pelati mutti, which
So that's the whole.
that's just
Roma tomatoes.
the old tomato, right?
Yeah. And the Mutti's a brand, one
Mutti is the
of
brand.
the premier brands. It's very easy to find.
Yes,
Yeah.
very easy to find, Italian brand. And I do prefer pelati crushed. I mean, I do crush by myself,
Yeah.
by hand.
So these are
'cause,
the whole tomatoes. They've got the skins already removed.
Yeah.
And you just take it straight out of the tin. You include the sauce.
No. You just get the
Just the
They got
tomatoes.
the sauce already.
Yeah. And do you
salt
keep
and
that?
water?
Do you keep that, or do you strain them first?
No. Just chuck
The whole
all of
lot,
them,
right.
the whole lot inside a bucket or
Yep.
whatever you prefer.
Yep.
Bowl or whatever. And what I do is very easy. I'll show you.
Yep.
Just here.
So that's you've got some in there.
Yeah, I got some in here. As you can see, look, those are all. I mean, those are already crushed. They're crushed already, but usually you get the pelato, the whole
Tomato.
tomato.
Yeah.
Okay. And what you do is very easy. You just crush it by hand like this. See.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know you're gonna make a bit of a mess, but just try to keep your hand inside, and you crushing it. Okay. Just like this. Look, like if you need to just close your hand, pretty much. See. And we do. This is a very old and traditional way, especially for the type of pizza which is the Napolitan one, because it cook at very high temperature, and also because you can use for any type of pizza, but it's more focused on there, obviously. But you're gonna taste the real tomato. I mean, this is not concentrated tomato. We're not using any concentrated tomato. We only use the tomato paste or the fresh or the pelati or the crushed tomato. That's the only one that we use on pizza. Okay.
You just mentioned paste. Did you mean paste?
Yeah, like as a tomato paste, like
Like a dried.
like a dry one.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
But not the concentrated one.
Right.
Nah, I would suggest to don't use the one because
So the easiest thing is really just to buy the tin tomatoes.
yes, and just
Crush them with your hand.
Crush
You
them by
could
hand.
could you also get the ones that are they call what's it pulpa, which means
Which is
already
the pulpa.
chopped up into
Yeah.
so you don't
The
if you don't
crushed
want
one.
to if you don't want to
Yeah.
do
See.
if you don't want to do that
So look at this.
you can
These are
buy
crushed one.
the ones that are already
This is sorry,
crushed.
a pelato crushed by hand.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what you do. That's the first step that you do.
Yep.
And then we give it a bit of taste at this tomato, obviously. So what you do is you're picking up some basil, nice fresh basil in here. Picking up, you chuck it inside like this. Okay. That's very, just to give it a taste and flavor. I mean, everyone probably love basil. Okay.
But it's very traditional, isn't it?
But it's very traditional, very unique. I think on a pizza, it's important to put a good quality on the tomato base and the cheese. Okay, that's very important, very very important. So you gotta give a taste. You just give it a mix anyway now. You gotta give a taste. You gotta give a flavor, and it's important if you can. You making the tomato in the morning. And you let it rest with the basil, as I'm doing until the night they're using. So you give a very
so it infuses the flavour.
infusing, exactly,
Yeah.
pretty much what you
Yeah.
do is infusing.
Cool.
Okay. Now
Now
what
you're
else?
not mincing those up at all. You just leave them like that.
I'll just leave it like that for
Right.
now. Now we go also, if you can, some fresh oregano. This is fresh and dry.
Yep.
Okay. And what I do is, you can find this one obviously everywhere, Coles or whatever.
Is it okay to use the dried stuff from a jar? Is that
Yes,
that's
yes,
fine?
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, as much we're talking about oregano, I mean, in a sauce, what you put is oregano. Maybe you can put a bit of black pepper if you want, but we go more traditional. So
We keep it nice and simple.
you can
Oregano,
smell. It's beautiful. Oregano, basil, and salt. That's it.
That's it.
Nice and easy, guys. Nice and easy. And what else now? I think we can just give it a mix. Okay, just by hand. If you want to use a spoon, obviously clean your hands. Always very important. Okay, see. like this. Beautiful. And now we put usually we're gonna weight the salt. Usually you put every 2.5 kg you put 50 grams usually, or about 50 grams of salt every 2.5 kg.
Yeah.
I go by big quantity. You just pull it inside. Okay, like this. Sorry. And now we give it a mix, still by hand, or if you wanna use a spoon or whatever. Okay, just as it is. Beautiful.
And so you can leave this, like you said, you leave it for a day in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then how long will it last? I mean, it'll last a while in the fridge?
Yeah, it would probably last up to a couple of days.
Can you freeze this?
You can, yes, you can.
Is it gonna?
But you gotta, you can vacuum seal it as well,
Okay.
or just put in a container and you freeze it up. That's
Right.
it. Yes, absolutely, you can do it. You can do it. And also, if you may put a little bit too much salt, if you make too salty, which can happen,
Yeah.
try to, because the tomato is it's a bit of acid,
Yeah.
put a little bit of sugar,
Sugar. Yeah. That's
and
it.
you make it you give it the right balance
Yeah.
again.
That balances out the salt. yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's it.
And to remember, these tomatoes are already cooked.
Yes.
They're already cooked in the
They
tin,
are already cooked.
so you don't have to worry about that.
No.
So this is basically it, isn't it? As far as the sauce is concerned, it's no
That's
more
it.
complex than this.
Oh well, Andrew, the tomato, it looks easy, but you gotta make in a good way. Like you gotta know what to do as well. Like you know, especially you gotta choose the right. I would say the right brand. Maybe try to get some also, you know, organic stuff.
Okay.
You know, obviously, like Mutti, for example, is the most common
And high quality.
and the good quality. Yes, absolutely. They go actually organic as well. So yeah, I would suggest Mutti.
And we're not being
going
sponsored by
wrong.
Mutti, but we're just
No.
just telling you a brand that
Absolutely.
we're familiar with and
Yeah.
that should be readily
The
available.
familiar and probably the common that you get
Yeah,
around.
certainly around Australia, it's very easy to
Absolutely,
find.
absolutely.
Yeah. You've seen Emiliano make the tomato sauce in the traditional method for restaurant use. What I'm going to do now is just show you how to do the same thing in quantities that you can use at home. So the sort of product that you can buy in the stores is this sort of thing here. This is a San Marzano tomato. So this is the original product from Italy. It's the Del Agro Sarnese Nocerino DOP. So this is the San Marzano tomatoes that have actually been grown in the DOP area. This is the original stuff from the original place in the region around Naples. There are plenty of other San Marzano tomato brands out there that are made in all different parts of the world with San Marzano tomatoes, but this is the stuff that has a particular taste because it's grown in the foothills of Vesuvius with the volcanic soil and all that sort of stuff. So it has a particular taste. So that's the real deal. This is a Mutti brand. There are plenty of other brands. It's not a big region, it's not a big area. I think it's about 155 hectares, which is somewhere around 300 acres of San Marzano tomatoes where they're grown. But you can find these, I found these in a grocery store in Sydney, Australia, so you can find these anywhere and look for the DOP rather than, the DOP means it's sort of, it's the, I'll put it across the screen what that stands for, but that's the original product, certified original product. So that's the ideal thing, that's what you want to go for. The other thing that the other type of tomatoes you can get is the polpa tomatoes. So these are Roma style tomatoes. They're not San Marzano tomatoes, they're Italian tomatoes. Polpa means, direct translation from Italian is pulped, but essentially chopped up. So they're small pieces. So if you don't feel like getting your hands dirty and using the method that I'm going to use and that Emiliano showed you, then buy something like this. So these are really good. Mutti brand's typically good. I'm not paid by Mutti or anything like that, but Mutti are regarded as one of the better brands. But look, if you're buying tomatoes, just make sure they're Italian tomatoes. This is another brand, Annalisa. I use these quite a lot. Italian peeled tomatoes. These are whole tomatoes. They're not San Marzano, but they are very tasty. You would have heard Emiliano talking about pelati or pelato. That just means peeled. So you do want the Italian peeled tomatoes, which will tell you on the bottom here. You don't want them with skins on, because the skins give the tomatoes a bitter taste. So if we're going to do what we had to do, I've got a can of the San Marzano tomatoes here that I'm going to use. And what we're going to add to it is a teaspoon of dried oregano, which is just there, a teaspoon of cooking salt, and some fresh basil leaves. So we just simply start by pouring the tomatoes into the bowl. So what we find is that a tin of this, which is 400 grams, I think, from memory, 400 grams of tomatoes. One tin, the way we cook our pizzas at home, will give us about 8 pizzas. It's good enough for 8 pizzas. We tend to stretch it to that point. We tend to have 2 or 3 pizzas that don't have as much sauce on them. So ideally you'll get 6 out of this with normal sauce usage, but we can stretch it out to 8. So the first thing we do is, my hands are clean, and you can see these are whole tomatoes, and it's just a matter of squashing them and trying not to wear what it is that you're squashing. And it's quite a satisfying feeling, I have to admit, squishing these tomatoes. So what we're trying to do is just get these down to a small consistency. A little bit of lumps is good. That gives it a little bit of character. And the thickness of the sauce is quite okay. It's quite a good consistency. You can see some of it squishing out of the bowl. It's because I'm not very well practiced at this. And that consistency is actually quite good. So I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll be back in one moment, and then we'll start adding the other ingredients. So now I'm just going to add the oregano, the salt, and then with the basil leaves, I recommend you get the basil leaves, just give them a bit of a twirl like that. That helps the oils and the fragrant part of the basil leaves come out. Just put those in. It's a bit of a squash like that. You can actually smell how fragrant that is. Now, all we need to do now is just mix this all around like this, get it all mixed through. And you see that consistency, it looks just like pizza sauce. Now we don't need to cook this. These tomatoes are already cooked. So it's ready to use on our pizza. It's like that simple. I have to admit, we used to cook our tomato sauce before, but this is what we do now, and it's so much more the restaurant taste. And just have a little bit of taste of that. It tastes just like pizza sauce. It's fantastic. So, happy cooking. Stay tuned for the next video.
Oh, for sure.
The next video, whoops, if I get the camera right. The next video we're going to show you, or
Emiliano.
This guy.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Emiliano is going to show you how to stretch a pizza, how to assemble it, and how to cook it. So this is Andrew from the Food Good channel. This
Emiliano, pizza yours, keep turning.
Exactly. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, give us some comments below, tell us what you think of the recipes that we're showing you,
yes.
And maybe give us some of your tips and secrets. We'll see you in the next video.
Ciao, ciao.